It's selective
There are
to
two
choose
ways to select the right choice. What are the two ways?
um to replace it with your own word.
Yeah.
Mm,
So here I want to say that there are two ways to select the right choice. Number one, you should have a strong reason to deselect or to reject or to eliminate all others. So
mm-hmm.
you don't like any other option. That's why you threw all of them. So you have a strong reason to throw others, and that's why you selected one which had a lesser reason or a weaker reason to throw, right? So one is
Yeah.
if you can easily throw others. And second is if you have a strong reason to select the choice that seems to be right, right?
Okay.
So these are two simple ways. You have a strong reason to throw away all others, then you can select
Me?
one.
Yeah.
Or you
Oh
have a
yeah.
strong reason to select one, then you throw others,
Okay.
right? So let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the clues and let's see what we can throw. And throwing is easier. Let's see. Some fish migrate between freshwater and marine biomes. So there is a migration of fish happening during their life. The migrations obligate nature is why this fish can be dash. The migrants obligate nature. What is obligate? I don't know. But some,
Like it's I think obligate means just like because when you're obligated to do something, you have to do it. So it's just
yeah,
like a
yeah,
part of
yeah.
their nature to just do it.
Good, good. You know it. So migrate necessary nature or inevitable nature, names like that.
Yeah.
So they have to migrate. Fish can be dash, those that are merely da da da. Da 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 can survive high salinity, but its life cycle does not involve relocation to different biomes, as does that of D. Oh, so they are differentiating or contrasting between two different fishes. For one, it is a must to migrate. For others, it is an option to migrate. You may migrate, you may
Mm-hmm.
not migrate, you will still survive. So this beautiful fish by the name Yuri something is a flexible one. It can survive in saline waters.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The migrants' obligate nature is why these fishes can be demarcated from those. Demarcated means differentiated. Looks like a good choice because this is like
Yeah.
must do and others are optional. So easy to demarcate, easy to differentiate. I have a strong
Mm-hmm.
reason to select A, so I'm inclining towards A. Then B says constituted as. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Conflated with. I don't know what is conflated, but I still don't like it. I have a strong reason to go towards A, and con means together, flated means flate. So conflated seems like maybe confused with, I don't know. But then I don't like it. So I throw it. Derived is like, I just hate this word in this scenario. I don't even, it's not even close. So I want to throw it to Sri Lanka.
Mm.
So D derived those. I mean, I don't like, I mean, it's not even close to the context. The
Right.
only one which matches with the scenario that you are contrasting to, so it is easy to demarcate or easy to differentiate is A. So I have a strong reason to select A, and I have a strong reason to throw away all others. So I go with A.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I take.
Easy,
Yeah. Yeah,
easy
yeah.
peasy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can get it. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. So simple formula. You should have a strong reason to throw away others or a strong reason to select one. If any one of
Mm-hmm.
them fulfills, then you can go with that. Yeah. But then if
Yeah.
both of them, both the criteria are fulfilled, then it's like you have your day. Okay,
Yeah.
desultory, spurious, veritable, notional. My God, beautiful words there. But then let's see. Again, let's focus on the scenario. One popular theory of how moon came into existence is black whack. Posits that or tells that host planet called this one collided with Earth. So T collided with Earth and it gave rise to moon. Flinging debris into orbit that eventually coalesced into moon. Wow. The moon got formed because of some collision with Earth. Fantastic. Now they are coming with a twist. Until recently, this gentleman was, Thea means that planet was dash, was something. But researcher, this guy and that guy, claim to have identified pieces of protoplanet in the lowermost section of Earth's mantle. Oh, so it wasn't very clear, but then now they have found it in Earth's mantle, which means it seems like this hitting theory is having some credibility, right? It's
Yeah.
it's a valid one because in Earth you are finding something of what protoplanet is. That protoplanet, yeah, protoplanet. Okay, so good, which means there is some evidence. So let's see all these twists and coalesced into moon until recently. Thea was like a speculation or a guesswork up till now.
Like,
Desultory, I don't know and I don't like it, so I throw it.
yeah.
Spurious, spurious I've heard. Spurious is like, I mean, duplicate, not original. Spurious documents, spurious evidence. So I keep it sort of because somehow it goes with the scenario. But then still, I don't really like too much. Veritable. Veritable is from variety, this type, that type. Veritable doesn't even go close, so I don't like it. Notional is like a notion. Like it's just a notion, it's just a view, it's just an opinion. I like D. So out of B and D, I want to take one.
Yeah.
So Thea was notional. Notional I like more because it's more symbolic sort of thing, like a notion.
Right.
So
No, yeah.
out of these, I go with D, which seems to be the closest one, but we can check. I'm not sure.
Okay, for no, let's see. It's D.
Oh, today is Sunday. We got it.
I
So
don't know, like, because I seriously, I don't know, like when I see these words, like, no definition comes to mind. Like, I'm just guessing.
yeah, but then you can make some guesses which are intelligent guesses. Notion. You know the word notion?
Eh, yeah, kind of.
So you can make an adjective out of notion, which is notional. So notional means not 100%. It's like speculative. It's a guesswork. It's more like, yeah, a guess.
Oh, so that would make sense because it says it was like a theory, and then it said that until recently, but now they've found that they've identified pieces of it. So until then, it was a notion.
Yeah, you got it. So this is called as smart guesswork. You don't need to be intelligent. You need to be smart.
Yeah, that's the same. Those are synonymous with one another.
Yeah. There's nothing like intelligent. It's just that you
Yeah,
have to use your smartness to get to the closest option. And you can go with like, okay, I'm just trying my best. But yeah, there's a way to reach to the right answer.
that is true.
Okay, the following text is from somebody. What are we supposed to do? What does this text most strongly suggest about the story of HC? Strongly suggests. Oh, story of HC that was intended to tell here not for his sake, for the reader will come to know him as a perfectly ordinary. So the guy is ordinary. If engaging young man, okay, but for the sake of the story itself. Oh, but the story is great. Mhm.
Hmm.
So, like if I'm made the Prime Minister of India, the guy is simple, but the story is great, right? Oh, he was made the Prime Minister of India. Something like that. Which seems to us to be very much worth telling. Oh, there is another bracket. Although HC's favor, it should be noted that it is his story. His story. So, which means what? He seems to be a lucky guy. He's a
Right.
chosen guy because he's an ordinary guy with an extraordinary story. And that not every story happens to everybody. So he's like so lucky. It's a story
Yeah.
that took place long ago and is so to speak covered with patina of history and must necessarily be told with verb whose tense is that of deepest past. I don't understand the last part. Why are they saying patina shatina? What is the use of all this? So I don't want to understand it. All I understand is this part. That's a story of a simple guy who somehow rose to some big position because of luck. And it was this luck which happened to him. So let's see. Now we play the game of like and dislike. Do you like A?
Um, no.
Throw it. I don't like it. What about B?
No.
Indicators that the story itself is important. Why don't you like B?
I don't like how it says it's age and manner.
Yeah, its age and manner in which it is stored, therefore must be told are both indicators that the story. So it's not about the age and manner, but the story itself. Yeah, I see what you are saying. C,
See, no.
no, because the last part, the story is consequential is to be made evident to the audience. So somehow you made it will sound like a good story. That's why it is good. Doesn't make sense. Okay. D.
D, yeah, I
Very
like D.
good. Now you got it. You can check it now. I also think D is a good one.
Yep, D.
Hey,
I remember when I was doing this. I
is
was
it
the
by
like,
chance that all these questions which are incorrect are boiling down to D?
yeah, yeah.
So you can check D first. For the questions which you don't like, start with D.
Okay.
It's just a fluke.
Sounds.
There is no base to it. Maybe.
I wish.
Yeah. So if you have to make
Okay.
a guess, Select D.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, another one.
Okay, so what's going on? Can you please explain this to me in simple words?
I will see. Yeah, I have no idea what this is talking about.
So let's try to imagine. Earth is made up of layers. The outer layer is called as lithosphere, and it was supposed to be static, and the inner one is called as mantle. Can you imagine that? The outer one is
Yeah.
lithosphere, then there is mantle. Researchers investigated the timing of the transition from a stagnant lid regime to a tectonic plate regime. What is this? Timing of transition from stagnant lid regime to a tectonic plate regime. Stagnant to tectonic means some kind of movement is happening, because stagnant lid means it wasn't mobile, but now it has become mobile. Interesting. So the outer thing, which was called as litho something, is moving now, which was the lid, right?
Yeah.
A stagnant lid tectonic, which upper litho. So litho thing is moving, in which the litho is fractured into dynamic plates. Oh my God. That in turn allow lithospheric and metal material to mix. Have you ever seen a mixie revolving like this? The food mixie? The one which
Um,
is at home, mixer. So things look stagnant there. When the mixer starts, all the things get mixed. Something like that. I'm just trying to relate it with what I know. Oh my God, the
just
question went away.
yeah. I mean,
So yeah, you don't have to be a scientist to answer these questions. I mean, you can just try to see what's going on. So the mantle broke, oh sorry, that litho thing, the lid broke, and probably there was some mixing of the plates. Now, in order to make it simple, it's like you are trying to make some dish. It was static, but then something got revolved and the dish got mixed up. Something of that sort is happening, isn't it?
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know Shankarji?
Yeah.
Shiva,
Who?
Lord Shiva.
Oh, yes. 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 Maybe
What do you
so.
know about Lord Shiva?
He's a creator.
No, he's a destroyer. That is Brahma.
Oh. Oh. I got it mixed up.
Researchers
Um,
give us, yeah,
his skin is blue,
his skin is blue.
right?
His throat is blue actually, and skin is also blue,
Mm,
yeah. And he has this third eye. Have you heard of the two eyes? And there is this, that's why he's called as Trinetra. So what is this third eye? Third eye is to see something which is not present in front of two eyes.
right.
Basically using imagination. So he was quite imaginative. That's why he was able to look and see what was there in the past and what is going to be there in the future. Because both are stories, right? Future and past are stories, isn't it?
Yeah.
The reality is what you can see with your eyes. So what you see with your eyes is the story here, but you can use your third eye to create your own story. Yeah, so you don't have to kind of stick to what is said there. In which the lithosphere is fractured into dynamic plates that turn a lithospheric and mantle material to mix. Okay, mixing is happening. Examining chemical data from da 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 and da da da, ranging from da 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 to da 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 years, Oh, so they are mixing time also now. The researchers dated the transition to be 3.2 billion years ago. Wow. Which of the following true would most directly support the conclusion? So something happened between 3.2. There must have been an earthquake. There must have been some kind of, you know, Tandav dance by Shivji. You know, his dance is called as Tandav? No?
No.
Oh, so when Shivji dances, his dance is called as Tandav. So some kind of destruction might have happened or some kind of movement must have happened in order for these two plates to get mixed. So we are looking for that evidence. Okay, so let's see. And they have got some timing stuff also. So they say 285 millions to 3.8 billion. So the timeline is there. Between that time it happened. Known to be older than 3.2 billion years ago. What do you like, A or you want to throw A?
Um, I think
So there are three possibilities. Yes, no, and maybe.
maybe.
So maybe. Yeah. Okay. What about B?
I think mm, throw.
No. Okay. What about C?
Mm, throw.
Why through?
I don't know because it says like the correlation. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
It says a positive correlation between the age of the lithospheric rock and the chemical similarity to mental. So initially there is less similarity between lithosphere and so see it's like this. Do you know how curd is formed? In night, your mother keeps some milk and adds some small amount of curd to it and stirs it and puts it at one place, a cold place. By the time it is morning, the whole milk turns into curd, right? That's how curd is prepared. Do you know that or not? So now you know it. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just processing.
So basically, something is a process. Like it doesn't happen from A to B. There's a journey from A to B where A becomes B, sort of like that. Yeah. And that's what it's saying that, you know what, something was becoming something else. So there's a positive correlation between the time and the mixing, in simple words.
Right.
Chemicals married to mental derived rocks, and that correlation increases significantly in strength at around 3.2 billion years ago. Uh, yeah. So, by 3.2, it was quite high, which means the mixing had happened. So C looks like a good choice. It's like a process. They are describing something which happened between two spaces. So I like C very much actually. Mantle derived rocks younger than 3.2 billion years contain some material younger than 3.2 billion contain some material that is not found in older mantle derived rocks but is found in older and contemporaneous litho. Oh my god, I don't like this option. It is like too far, going in all directions. I don't want C. So I have a strong reason for C, and this D looks like out of place. It's trying to complicate things by older and contemporaneous lithographic rocks. Younger 3.2 billion years ago. So the younger ones, which means the recent ones. Some material that is not found in older mantle derived rocks. How can it
Yeah,
not find some? I mean, you cannot lose anything. If mixing is happening, you cannot lose anything. That is not in
right.
older. How can you not have something which was present earlier? Okay, I am okay with you having something new, but how can you lose something which you already had if mixing has happened, right? So metal cannot lose anything. Metal cannot become less metal. I agree it will become more litho, but it would not lose something, right?
Yeah,
So D looks like far. It's not a possibility. So I like C somehow.
yeah,
Between B and C because it talks about the timeline and all this somehow. D also was good, right? No, no, you said A also, right? Older than 3.2 billion years ago, which means farther away. Significantly more mantle derived than lithospheric among rocks. I mean, both of them existed, just that the mixing happened, right? That's what they're saying. Upper was litho, no interaction between litho and the underlying was mantle. So both of them existed all throughout the ages. It was just that they got mixed at a certain point in time. It wasn't that at one point only litho was there and then mantle took birth. It was like these two layers were separate, but they got mixed later, right? Does that make sense?
yeah,
So I want to
right.
discard A2. More of mantle than litho. How can that be? I mean, both. We don't know about the quantity. Younger than 3. Oh, wait. Among rocks known to be older than this. But then how can it be more? More or less doesn't make sense to me. If mixing has happened, doesn't mean one is more than other. How do we establish that? So I don't like A2. I'm throwing A. What do you say? Like if A and B got mixed, how much mixing happened? How do you know that? We know that some amount of A came to B, but how much? We don't know. So they are trying to say there was more of A in B after mixing. So where is the evidence for that? I still like C more. So let's see. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see the answer now. Can you show the answer?
Yeah, it's just glitching.
Oh. Hmm.
It says D.
Oh. You also put C. This is not fair. But fine, we had our reason. Even if you go wrong on one or two questions, that's okay. But then you should have your reason. Mantle derived rocks younger than 3.2 billion years contain some material that is not found in older mantle derived rocks, but is found in older and contemporaneous lithographic rocks. Younger than 3.2 means towards this side. Some material that is not found in older. Yeah, that makes sense, but is found in older. Hmm, not found in older mantle derived rocks. Means something new has come there that is not found in older mantle derived rocks, but is found in older. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That also makes sense actually. Look at this. Which means some lithograph has come to mantle, no, in the younger ones. Yeah, it's like if if I have to give an example, the kid has the genes of father and mother. Simply. So if mixing has happened, then this new one has got similarity to mantle as well as original mantle and original litho,
Right.
something like that. So D makes sense actually. But then why is C bad? Age of lithographic rocks and their chemical similarity to mantle derived rocks. Positive correlation between the age, chemical similarity to mantle derived rocks. And that correlation increases significantly in strength at 3.2 billion years old. Well, the first part actually doesn't make sense. Positive correlation between age of lithographic rocks and their chemical similarity to mantle. So earlier also they are similar, and later on they become very similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that makes sense to discard it or to keep it.
Um, I think to
So that
like
is
to
already discarded. That
okay.
is that is not the one which makes sense. D is the one, and
Right,
and we can see why D is right. It's like in the kid you have got genes of both father and mother in simple sense. If it
right.
is formed by the mixing of two, so that's what it is. Yeah, let's go to the next one. So this one was like the best guess. For these kind of questions, you may go wrong on one or two, but you have to take it with a grain of salt, have your logic in place, and yeah, that's it. But you can see these
Okay.
questions are going to take a little time, and we have to like do fast other questions so we have enough time for these.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the next one. So, which finding from the study true would most directly support the researcher's conclusion? What is the researcher's conclusion? This line drew this conclusion from an analysis of 50,000 novels spanning many centuries and cultures using software to recognize and tally both specific time references. That is, clock phrases such as 7 a.m. to 30 p.m. Oh, software to recognize and tally both time-specific references, this and this, and implied ones, such as mentions of meals typically associated with a particular time of the day. So what do we want to say here? Almost all works of fiction contain references to progression of time, including the time of day when events in story take place. So there is reference of time. In 2020 study, Alan Kim, this guy and that guy, claimed that an observable pattern in such references reflect a shift in human behavior prompted by spread of electric lighting in the late 19th century. What do you mean by
Hmm.
this? So in the
Uh,
late 19th, huh?
Wait, no, what were you saying?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. I don't know what you said.
So what's the story? What do you gather from all this data?
Um, Wait, let's see. Almost over sufficient. So basically, like with like in like fake stories or whatever, in fiction stories, they make references to time, like and when something takes place. And so they claim that when this time happens, there's a shift in the behavior.
Mhm.
And then they um they come to the conclusion that like that reference time of days, like it becomes like a phrase that means something. I don't know how to describe that.
That is clock phrase such as 7 a.m. 2:30 p.m. and implied ones such as mentions of meals typically associated with a particular time of day. So basically, they are talking about some kind of shift in timing that, with the advent of light, probably the time the novel was written and the stories, their timelines also changed. Progression of time, and a reference to progression of time, including the time of day when events in a story take place. 2020 study of these people that an observable pattern in such references reflects a shift in human behavior. Shift in human behavior, that's the key. Spread of electric lighting in the late. So, what could be the shift in human behavior? So, probably when you have got light, you would like to work in night as well. And you will like to get up early in the morning also because darkness is not a constraint to work.
Yeah. So I think,
So let's see. Most directly support novels published after the year 1800 include the clock phrase 10 a.m. less often. 1800, before 1800. Has 1800 got any reference? I don't know why are they saying 1800, but then what are they saying? After 18 include clock phrases 10 a.m. less often. Okay. I don't know. I'm really not sure of A. So maybe, maybe not, but I don't really like it. Novels published after 1880 contain significantly more references to activities occurring after 10 p.m. than do novels from earlier periods. Well, that makes sense to me.
right.
Like in
Yeah,
the
that makes sense.
okay. See, among novels published in the 19th century, implied time references become steadily more common than clock phrases. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Time references became steadily more common than clock phrases as publication dates approached 1900. What's this? Time references became more steady, means morning, evening, those kind of time references. Then clock references like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I don't see any connection there.
Yeah, I don't see connection either.
The time references of noon, 12 p.m. and midnight, 12 a.m. are used with roughly the same frequency. D is like, why do they write such kind of options? So just
Right.
delete them and move on. So D is okay. I mean, I don't, a D can be eliminated straight away. Honestly, I like B more than anything else, but I want to just see C also once.
Mm-hmm.
Implied time references become steadily more common than clock phrases. Implied time references means not direct, implied time references, like it was dark.
But here they're saying specific.
Specific time references, that is clock phrases.
Oh,
So then B, right? Let's see what's the answer. Oh,
oh my gosh.
you off. These are tricky questions. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what we were thinking, right? Now they started talking more about night time because electricity was there. Novels published, there's significantly more reference to activities occurring after 10 p.m. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with the advent of light, those references become more significant. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to the next one. I mean, prominent, not significant. I mean, we can see them, yeah. Okay, so we have got 333. Ordinary imports, processing with assembly, processing with inputs. Wow. I remember a bit of this question. This was interesting. All the three are showing an upward trend. Processing with imports, processing with inputs. Import type. Imports in hundreds of this. Which choice describes data from the graph that support the student's assertion? What is the student's assertion? Can you read this question? Tell me, what do you gather from this? You remember?
I do not remember.
Okay, so let's read it. Let's see. This is interesting. Can you see what's going on? Can you explain it?
Um, so basically they're researching so they're researching trade liberalization with two types processing, which is when they get materials from a part like a trading partner and then they build those materials and then they sell it back and they charge for assembly and then the other one is processing with inputs, which is when they buy raw materials and then sell it to another trading partner. And then they assert that initial efforts at trade liberalization were shaped by limited capital, but the situation resolved in 2000. I guess you could say, I don't know, the ordinary imports are higher in 2000.
Yeah. So ordinary imports were like okay, but then the discussion is about processing with assembly and processing with inputs. The difference between processing with assembly and processing is inputs is what? So, for example, I take some, I import some, let's say, plastic from United States. I mean, India imports some plastic from United States. United States doesn't pay anything, and India doesn't charge anything for that. So it takes the plastic, it builds the chair, and it gives the chair back to United States, which means like processing with assembly. So basically, what I'm charging, I mean, it's not India, let's say China. So China was charging only for processing. It wasn't paying anything for the raw material because, let's say, US is giving plastic to China. China makes a chair out of it and gives the chair back to US. So it's like raw
Hmm.
material is taken from some country, turned into a finished good, and sent it back to the country which gave the raw material. And they charge only for assembly. right?
Right.
Then later on, these Chinese people gathered a lot of money. So what they started doing, they started importing plastic from different countries. They made by paying those countries because now they have capital. So they started making chairs from the plastic they got from different countries, and they started selling it to different countries now. So it could be like plastic is imported from India, they pay for it, they make chair out of it, and the chair is then exported to US. And China is becoming processing with inputs now. So what they are trying to say is that with the passage of time, the economy turned from processing with assembly to processing with inputs, because they gathered a lot of capital. Because if you're buying the raw material, you need to have capital, right? You need to make an initial investment to buy the raw material. So that's what happened in China, and that's why you can see if you compare the second and the third graph.
Yeah.
I mean, the second and the third bars there, processing with assembly rose less sharply than processing with inputs, which clearly shows that there was a steeper shift towards this type of economy from 2000 to 2006. Processing with inputs type of economy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so can it be A?
Mm, no.
That doesn't make sense. Okay, can it be B?
No.
Okay, can it be
Well,
C?
yeah. I think it can be seen.
You like C? Okay, can it be D?
No.
So that doesn't make sense. You said C is the answer, huh? 2000 to 2006, neither processing imports with inputs nor processing imports with assembly were greater than ordinary imports. Why are you saying that? I mean, it is
Um,
factually correct,
right.
but does it really prove the point?
No.
So C,
I mean, well, no, I think, but that's the thing, because they're saying, like, initial efforts were shaped, this situation resolved during the 2000s. So all their means of trade liberalization, like, decreased and it resolved back to ordinary imports, right?
huh?
Wouldn't it, if it says that it resolved during the 2000s, then wouldn't the
What
ordinary
resolved? Go,
inputs
no, 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 no. So go back, go back. What
trade
got resolved?
liberalized?
So let's see what was the problem and what problem got resolved. Oh, I see what you're saying. So there is nothing like ordinary. There's, I mean, these three are independent of each other. See, all three of them are existing in all the
Right.
three in all the 3 years mentioned there, 2000, 2003, 2006. All the three different types of imports process. What is the first one? Can you show the graph?
First one.
See, process with imports is always higher, even in 2000 or 2003 or 2006. Ordinary imports is always higher. So there is no transition happening from A to B. In 2003 also it is, in 2000 also it is bigger. In 2000, whatever 3 years are there, which 3 years are there? 2000, 2000, yeah, 2000 to 2006. So there are 3 years shown there, right? And ordinary inputs is always bigger. So isn't that there isn't any kind of transition happening from processing with assembly and processing with inputs to ordinary. The transition is happening from processing with assembly to process with inputs. So you can see that there is a larger shift in processing with inputs from 2003 to 2006 as compared to with assembly.
Yeah.
B looks like a good one.
Yeah,
The
it does.
inputs rose much more sharply than processing with imports with assembly did. Inputs rose sharply, right? Then assembly.
Right.
That proves the point that you got the capital, so you started importing the raw material, processing and exporting it to any country. Does it mix? So do you see the difference between the two, first of all? Processing with assembly and processing with inputs. What is the difference?
Processing with assembly is that they get it from one country, they build it, sell it back to them, and then they charge
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the
Assembly. Yeah.
the assembly, and then the imports is like they get it from everywhere, and then they
Yeah.
just sell it to whoever.
Yeah. That makes sense. So that's what it is showing in B, right? So let's see what's the answer there.
Okay. Yeah, B.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Should we do the next one? Do or
Yeah, I think we can do one or two more in case. How many questions are left?
uh 4?
Okay, let's see one or two. And then do we have another class before your test?
We do not.
Oh, okay. So we can do like maybe one or two. I have to go after some time, but then we can do. Let's see how we can do fast. Let's do them fast now. So I'll tell you what it is very quickly. This is the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what it's talking about, let's see.